Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and we are doing a reading for how do they currently feel about you. We have 4 pictures here, and we have 4 different captions that I've given to the pictures, and they are Spotty, Whispy, Showy, and Iffy. We just have some feathers, and really, don't overthink it, just find the picture or the caption or both that kind of make you feel something, and then we'll get right into it. That will be your reading. So thank you so much for being here. I'm just very grateful for having you here and being able to read for you. So please find your timestamp and jump ahead and listen. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and thank you so much for being here and letting me do a reading for you. We are doing a reading for what do they currently feel about you? How are they currently feeling about you? Yes, and these are my favorite readings because it's so fun for me to try to channel someone else's energy and thoughts and put that towards a relationship love vibe. I really enjoy that. So you picked picture 1, which was a beautiful little spotted feather. So we are here reading for Spotty. Okay, so let's get into this. I am going to pull an oracle card first and build around that. But I want to know a little bit about your person. I just want to get an idea of who they are first. So Sacred Mirror doesn't tell me anything. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups, Son of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. So a Sacred Mirror could it could make me think a few things. I can look at it and think they're looking within, they're turning within. And if I were to speak more on that, I would say something's probably happened that's made them feel like they need to kind of retreat a little bit. I think maybe they've experienced some kind of loss, some kind of an ending with that, a defeat. And the Son of Swords is, there's a bit of a hasty energy to this. It's someone who I think is in almost like a chaotic state of mind. Like they want to be in command of their thoughts and feelings. They want to have command of that part of their faculty, and yet they kind of do. They're on the right track, but there's still something just a little bit too quick and impulsive. And maybe they're getting frustrated with just the events that happened in their past, or past being like last week, recently, since you guys have been together or known each other. I just think something's happened, and as a result of that, it's made them kind of get anxious or just act hastily. So I don't know what this loss is. I don't know if it has something to do with your partnership or if it's something completely in their personal life. But these are 2 pretty specific cards speaking to loss or defeat. So I'm going to say, just sometimes the more I talk, the more things come to me. I actually will say that I don't think you're in a relationship with them right now. And there's no implication going into this reading if you are or aren't in a relationship. But if I look at this, I think no, you probably aren't in a relationship, or something's happened to them that's heavy. Anyway, we'll get a better reading on that one way or the other, or both, who knows. But yes, the Son of Swords in this reading, in this capacity, I do think that they are acting hastily. And I guess for me, what that means is that maybe they are oh, my dog's barking. Maybe they're indulging themselves a little bit too much. Maybe they are trying to seek a refuge that is not quite the right. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pause this and close my garage door. No barking, Lonnie. No barking. No bark. Oh my God. Sorry, that was fairly obnoxious. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God. Okay, so they are expressing almost like an immature, impulsive attitude. Yes, I'm getting something impulsive out of them. So how they're currently feeling right now in general, not necessarily about you, is I think they are feeling just overall icky. I think they're sad. I think their head is quite literally hung. And I think that they feel as though their main route to feeling better is kind of dealing with this themselves. I don't think they're turning to you for help right now. I don't know that they're turning to anyone for help. In fact, but I think they're indulging in behaviors that are, I'm not going to go so far as to say reckless, but I just think they are being a little bit indulgent. So I don't know if they're like drinking or partying too much. I don't know if they are spending too much money, but there's something to make me think that they're just acting in a way that they really shouldn't. Or it's not serving them. They're entitled to do whatever they want. It might not be the best self-serving way of going right now. Okay, let me get 2 more cards about them. So I've got the Moon and the Daughter of Swords. And if we stick with the Swords theme here, which is definitely consistent, when I think of the Daughter of Swords, I think of someone with a genuine curiosity. It's much different than the Son of Swords, who to me just embodies haste and embodies this just over the top energy of someone who thinks they're doing great and really isn't, someone who thinks they're killing it at life and isn't. That's kind of the Son of Swords to me in a way. Good intentioned, but just not listening to outside influences. But the Daughter of Swords has a little bit of a softer energy. So if they're both the Sun and Daughter of Swords, I would say they're immature at this point in time. And although they may be well-intentioned, whatever their actions are, I don't think they're being received that well. I don't really think they're doing the right thing. I don't know that they are hurting a lot of people, but I just think that for their own benefits and maybe how they're treating people that are close to them, such as yourself, I just don't get the impression that they're doing anything to better any situation or to enhance a relationship. However well-intentioned they might think they are. And the Moon is just one more level of this kind of dark, mysterious, illusionary state that I see this person in. And I think they've really turned in. And when I see them being chaotic or impulsive or whatever energy we're going to apply to the Son of Swords, I almost feel like they've lost themselves. Like they've kind of lost the plot right now. I don't think they're putting their best. I don't think they're serving anyone else in a good way, but I also don't think they're serving themselves in a good way. And the Sacred Mirror Oracle card just makes me think that they're acting very selfishly, but they're hurting themselves at the same time. So they don't seem to be in a very good place. And if we get how do they currently feel about you, we're going to talk less about them and just how they feel right now about you. But I would say that they're in a very probably vulnerable, sensitive state that I think is a little bit chaotic and a little bit unstable. So right now I would classify them as unstable, just based on this reading. But how are they currently feeling about you? Let's get an idea of that. I'm going to put these 2 cards down and build down to see the Spark of Hustle. So this makes me think of the Son of Swords. This is definitely that eager beaver energy that almost gets you nowhere. I don't know what they're hustling towards. I don't know if they think they are actually killing it in life. I don't know if they are just taking too much Adderall and they think everything's amazing when really they're just taking too much Adderall and not getting much of anything done. Like that's kind of the state I see them in, like with or without the pills. I don't see them really accomplishing much right now. And in fact, I think it's definitely a time where they're going to look back and it is going to be like that mirror where they're going to be like, wow, that is a time in my life where I was struggling. I didn't see myself and I hopefully grew a lot out of it. But this is a murky, messy time for them. But how do they feel about you? The spark of hustle, and then we've got the Three of Swords, and it's, I almost want to say right now they think you're holding them back from growth. Okay, and I hate to say that because it's not really a nice thing to hear. I think for whatever reason, and I think this stems from their own little angry pod that they're in, which they can absolutely come out of, but I think right now they feel that like they're getting stuff done, which they're not. They're like, you know, they're feeling alive, which they're not. I think they're living this very fake persona. And for whatever reason, being in this relationship or dynamic with you is like, it's holding them back. Maybe they think they're giving too much energy to this. Maybe they think the time spent with you could be time spent doing something more productive. And I guess the whole point here is I don't see anything about another person or energies going towards another person. I feel like they want so bad to believe that they are on this tremendous path and that they can't be tied down with anything right now because they think they're building things. And really, I think their heart just hurts. This is definitely what I think they're thinking right now. And it's interesting because this can be like something very big scale. Like you could say this to a T, which would probably be rare if many people are hearing this and they're like, yes, that's exactly it. But it can also be like, this can be a small scale thing too. And I get this. Like I get when, even like with friends, right? Like, you know, we all have friends that we want to hang out with and they're dear people and we love them, but we just tell ourselves we're too busy to like meet them for even coffee when we're not. We can definitely take half an hour to an hour out of our day twice a month to meet up with this friend, but we're like, you just tell yourself you can't do it for whatever reason. I don't know what you do in that time that you don't spend with quality time with a friend. You're probably staring at your phone or doing absolutely nothing, but it's just, you're in this mind fuck of thinking like you're just doing something. And again, maybe you are, maybe you're not. I don't think they are right now. I think they think they're building things. I think they think they're like wheeling and dealing. And actually, I think their heart just hurts and they're dealing with it. And I couldn't say if their heart hurts because of something you did to them regarding the relationship or if some outside influence put them in this state of ick that they're in. And I feel for them, but I feel for you too, because clearly your heart probably hurts a little bit too if you want to know how they currently feel about you. This is temporary though. This isn't to say they're just reacting to their own hurt, okay? And the sacred mirror makes more sense now because I feel like this is definitely a time that they will look back on and be like, whoo, that was rough. Like, can't believe I acted that way. Can't believe I was drinking that much. Can't believe I was functioning on like 3 hours of sleep, or maybe they're sleeping 18 hours a day. Like, who knows? They're just on one right now and they're not, I don't think things are really clicking for them. So get back to elemental. This to me is like, get back to the basics, right? Like just figure out what works, find what clicked for you before and just do it. Like life doesn't have to be that complicated. In other words, they are complicating things. They're making a bigger mess of things than they need to be. They're probably dragging things out and they just, like I said, they're not helping themselves and they're not helping anyone else at this time, frankly, but this is a path or a journey they are forging for themselves. But let's get a little bit more about how they're feeling about you, because this is always fun. Okay, so get back to elemental gives me hope because it is something to make me think that they are thinking or acknowledging that what they're doing isn't working, that whatever is going on in their heads, in their minds, whatever they know it's not working, right? They've been in denial about it. They know it isn't working. or it's not serving them. So there is a part of me that is confident they will soon take all this data, all this information about you, about the relationship, about what made them happy at one time, and start to think of a direction they want to go with this, which is, it does give me hope. And I'm going to say that they probably see you a little bit as the Daughter of Wands, and they might see you as a lot of things. You might be the King of Swords for all we know, but the Daughter of Wands has a very fresh, exciting, enticing enthusiasm to them. And I think that this is something, I think there are parts of you that really do light them up. And part of them not being able to maybe spend time with you or see you or engage with you the way they did, maybe, maybe they're not ready for that kind of energy. Maybe, quite frankly, they know that they don't have anything to contribute, even though they put on this front like they do. Maybe they just don't want to show that to you yet. However, I do have hope. I do think that they are starting to toss around new ideas and they're looking out into the future a little bit, and they're thinking like, okay, how can I incorporate this person back into my life? How can I make things, either repair what was broken, make things work again? If you guys are still together and things have been terribly rocky, how can they change that dynamic? But this is the vibe I'm getting right now, that they have been kind of pushing you away, giving you the cold shoulder, or quite deliberately, brushing you off. But I see that they will come back around to you and they'll probably want some of your inspiration, your energy. They're going to really want that enthusiasm that you have, that I think you've always had. It probably is very much a part of who you are. And you can be more than one court card. You don't have to just be the Daughter of Wands. You can have, they have a couple different energies going right now. So yeah, excuse me, I feel good. If this is someone that you want to work things out with, or you want something to happen, they definitely need some time to get over this little slump that they're in. I'm trying to think of the word, where they just are creating, like, they're just overindulging themselves at this point. Basically, they need to, they're overindulging in a lot of things, I think. Okay, let's get a little bit more. I'm going to put down, I'm just going to put down 3 cards. And I like that we have the heartbreak card here because it can tie in a little bit. I want to know, what are they currently thinking about you? Like, what are they thinking about you right now? And, okay. I mean, tarot is so amazing. It's just, these cards, they all have specific meanings, and then they all have ways that every artist who reads tarot can interpret something a different way. But there are certain cards that you put down and you're like, wow, that speaks so highly or so accurately to the question. And I want to know what they're thinking about you right now. And we've got basically a card which could denote love and intimacy. It's a great card for 2 people who care about each other, who share feelings, who are connected. Then we have the Tower, which is the let it crash and burn card. And then we have the Hierophant, which I don't think anyone knows the meaning of this card. I mean, you can call it like a group identity, group influence, religion, but it is a card of like rigidity, a card of like, I think of someone who likes to preach. I know this is connected to the throat chakra, so I think of this like someone who has this story to tell that probably talks way more than anyone else wants to hear, but they might, something to say from time to time. Okay, what are they feeling right now? So I guess I'm going to say right now, they're probably feeling that whatever you guys had, if it was this beautiful love relationship, I think right now they do want that to crash and burn, okay? And I am not saying that they don't. I think if they want it to crash and burn, they need to rebuild themselves. I think they want to recreate an image of what that love would look like moving forward, or what your relationship or dynamic would look like moving forward. So let's say that you really want to work things out with this person. right now, if that were to happen, you would have to work together to almost take on a new path as a couple. What you came from together, what you have in your past, I don't think they want. I just think a lot had to change, or this person has changed so much, or they're going through things that coming back together would mean almost like a new identity. And it's almost like if I take the Hierophant, I think this would take a lot of talking. It would take a lot of like deliberating, a lot of figuring out like what's our identity, if we're going to function differently, if we're going to do things so different. And that's it. This is just change. It's just bringing about a change from who you were, because whatever it was, it didn't work, or it didn't serve one or both of you. But the fact that this card even came up is hopeful. Like, this card tells me you guys really did have something quite good. It just isn't going to be exactly what you have moving forward. And I hope that doesn't discourage you, because there's a lot of beauty in coming together and like totally wiping the slate clean, which is another way of saying this. I think you would have to wipe the slate clean. For all the good and all the bad, it would be wiped clean. Like, you'd almost be starting fresh. And I can see this being a relationship where there's a ton of talk about this. Like, and that's fun. That's exciting. I know what that feels like, where you're like, well, if we get back together, I mean, we just have to talk about things, and we have to, I really want to know, like, it's just a time to throw anything on the table, and it can be a very exciting time, and it can be a lot of fun, and it can make for a great relationship moving forward. Or maybe things were great for you and you wouldn't want them to change, and this person wants, I don't know if this change is only going to serve one person and not the other, but I will tell you, the way I see these cards, if you want things to work, then this would be the avenue to do it. And there's nothing, to me, I don't see anything negative about that. This person will have to pull their head out of their ass, and I think they will do that. I think they're ready to do that, and I think they're actually probably starting to get excited about doing that. If it's not today, that's coming up. Because we did pull this line about how they feel about you, and I think right now they are potentially still overwhelmed / hurt / in their own feels. But this is it. The second they wake up one day and they're done being in their feels, you're in. Like, you're in from okay, let's try to reshape this. Let's try to work on this perspective. So I do feel like if I kept talking, I would be repeating the same thing I said over and over again, but I hope that message makes you happy, or at least makes sense at the very least. And yeah, I just see that you guys would do a lot of talking and reinventing the relationship wheel and what that looks like for you guys. Yeah, and this time it could be like a sacred mirror. Like, even if you guys become great friends and maybe you get married when you're like 78 or something, you would always look back on this time and be like, God, remember what we went through. Remember how we pushed each other. Remember all the growth we did. This is just what this feels like. And so I would say they definitely respect you. I think they really, really look up to you for, I just think they admire your enthusiasm. That would be my main takeaway, that they admire you. I'm like so out of breath. I get this way when I do tarot. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate this. I'm going to give you a good luck charm from Spirit. And then I'm just going to ask you to comment, like, subscribe, whatever feels right. Let's get that good luck charm going. Rise. You know what? And I put this down without realizing it. Between our two owl friends, they have wings too. And it just tells me, like, you probably need to really elevate. I think you need to elevate the maturity level of this person if you really want to be with them and make things work. I think that there's going to have to be some, like, they're definitely going to have to do some growth. So this might be a time stamp in a way to be like, nothing's going to happen until they start to mature or grow, or maybe this is for you to help them. But yeah, I think things are good. It's just, I do see a little bit of time. And you know what? I'm going to do a time card for you because I do like doing this. When do we think this person's going to start to mature? A couple of these Okay, 3/4 of these cards have a timestamp on them that I can use. So we'll see if the one I pulled does. Okay. It does not. Moon God Dionysus. I explore my wildness and dance and pleasure. So if this is talking about when this person's going to mature, they explore their wildness and dance and pleasure. This could be a card saying that whatever they're doing, however reckless or careless or seemingly out of control they are, it is part of their path and their journey right now, and they absolutely need to do what they're doing. So maybe don't interfere too much with that, because I really think they will come around and you guys can create something together, but they have to mature, and I think that this is going to happen in a time frame that I have no knowledge of, but when it happens, I think it could really work out for you. Yeah, and I think they're hurt. I mean, let's not forget that this card here is on the table, really painting a picture of the fact that they definitely, their heart hurts for whatever reason, but it does hurt. So, you know, they're growing through it. They are quite literally growing through it. I think they could be very wonderful people at the end of this little kerfuffle they find themselves in. So thank you so much. Again, comment if you'd like, but I'm just very happy to have you here. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate your time. I am doing a reading for how do they currently feel about you? What are they feeling? Why? How do they feel about you? And you picked card number 2, which is Whispy. So we are reading for Whispy, and cute little feather picture. Okay, so I'm going to start by getting an idea of who this person is, and maybe a little bit of your history. And then we'll figure out what do they feel about you? What are they feeling? Okay. Fall in love with your own story. Whenever I see this in regards to someone else, I think they are completely doing them right now. They are falling in love with their own story. It is their show, I would say. And then these definitely back it up. Wow, how funny. Okay. So to me, right now, they are completely enamored with themselves. They are, I think, being very, let's say, judicious of their time, their energies. I think it's very much them doing whatever they want to do. And to what extent, I'm not sure. I don't know, but however, yeah, I think they're, I don't know. Okay. I'm just going to say they're definitely focusing on themselves right now. And when I see the world, I do think of endings and beginnings. I think of completions. I think of new starts. This can be great for them and not so good for you. And then Ace of Wands, again, it just came up. This is potential. This is like inspiration. This is almost a little bit of clarity about what you want, new starts. So I'm going to say you guys probably aren't together right now. This person, I would say, very likely went their own way, and it was because they needed to do things for themselves. Or if you are together or you're taking a break, they are very much, it is their show. They are starting something new. They either, like, they just graduated college and they jumped into a job and they can't handle anything right now. Or they are working so much, or they're starting a new business, or whatever's happening in their heads, they are working on something so important, so time consuming, so energy draining that you are, quite frankly, you're just a little bit more, you call for a little more bandwidth than they actually have. Let's put it that way. But I also think they're very excited about what they're doing. So I don't think it's that they don't want you around or that they don't want to be with you. I think they just literally don't have the bandwidth to do both. So this isn't a bad thing, especially if things temper down, which they will, they always do, because this makes me feel like they're in this this new beginning stage where everything is so exciting. And I know this with doing these videos. I'm still excited to do these videos, but like, you know, when you're planning something and you do your first couple videos or your first 20 or 30 or whatever, you know, it's like, I didn't even talk to friends because I was so busy and in love with the process of doing these videos that I mean, this isn't about me, but relatively speaking, they're just at that point where they are so excited to be doing what they're doing. Maybe they've been wanting it for so long and it's finally here that they can't handle anything else. So not bad, not great, but not bad, definitely not bad. And with the world, I mean, this reminds me, and it'll remind you that things cycle. Like this is a phase, and this is definitely, you know, they're accomplishing something, which is great. They are showing that they have the ability to dig in and make things happen for themselves, which is sexy and appealing. And they're just excited. They're just quite frankly, just lit by all the things that are happening in their life. That is wonderful. So good for them. I'm happy for them. I'm sure you are too. We want a little bit more, you know, of this to have to do with you. But yeah, right now it's their story. So let's find out how they currently feel about you, or when they're gonna have the time for you. Let's ask how they currently feel about you, because we aren't really we're getting in a picture of how busy they are. But let's see. Okay, make a mission statement for your soul. You are living poetry. Okay. So I'll address this in a minute, but I'll do some cards for this. So make a mission statement for your soul is good. Let's see what the cards back it up with. It's weird to get two mothers. Okay, I think that they think that you are like I do think they see you as pretty powerful. Sorry, I'm just trying to think what make me. Okay, actually, it's not that I don't think they think you're powerful, but I think they want to know that you want to know that you. Oh my God, that you. They want to see you want for your life as bad as they want something for their life. Let's say. I think that they probably are on such a path of like accomplishing things and checking boxes and this period of growth and potential. And I get the feeling they want to see this from you too. And I don't know if they've asked you questions like, you know, what do you want? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Or do you want kids? Do you want to get married? Like, where are you going? What do you even want? I just feel like they've probably asked you many times, what do you want? And maybe you haven't had an answer for it. However, I will say this, how they're feeling about you, to see two like mother cards come up, Pentacles and Cups. These are very, very strong energies that are all wonderful, all positive. These are energies that are like self-commanding, self-control, connected, balanced. I mean, the Mother of Cups might be a little neurotic, but it doesn't matter. She's a communicator. She can talk her way out of any situation and get to the bottom of anything with words. Like, she's very, very strong and not afraid of a good conversation, not afraid of confrontation. I mean, it's a great energy. And the Mother of Pentacles is also just a very nurturing, loving, kind of just like a caretaker almost. Like there's just a very earthy goodness to this card. Let me put it that way. I think they want you to take all your talents and energies, all your goodness, all your capabilities, and they want to see you channel it into something. And I guess what I'm getting out of this, it's not that you're this like empty vessel that's not doing anything. I think they see tremendous potential in you. They just want to, I think they want you to see that in yourself. And that's a weird, I mean, that's kind of a heavy message because it doesn't mean you don't see that in yourself. And we're not going to get into any of that because this really is just about what they're feeling. Or maybe you do have a very strong command of what you want to do and where you're going. You just haven't had those conversations necessarily. It's always been about them, or you just haven't been in a time or a space where you would talk this deeply or intensely about the future. But I think that they actually would want to hear this from you. I think they want to know a little bit more about your not intentions necessarily in a relationship, but just where is your life headed? What do you want for yourself? Okay, let me go over here and see. You are living poetry. So I would say this to me would absolutely track, because if they see you as these two strong female entities, then you would be living poetry. You would have so much going for you, so much potential, so much inspiring potential, I'm going to say, that they see this and they love this. But maybe if they're with you, or maybe the trend in your relationship has been that maybe they care for you in one way or another, like maybe they're putting a lot of resources or energy into you and they just can't do that anymore. And they need to know that you can be more self-sufficient. And this can be, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about, like, I don't know, maybe they're cooking every meal and you're not ever cooking and it's a drain on them. I mean, it's like, that sounds stupid, but if you look at relationships where there's like an imbalance, I guess there's just an imbalance somewhere that is, they need to know that if you guys are together, they can put more energy into themselves and less into you in one aspect or another. Okay. And I will get into a part of this reading where we find out how much they love and adore you. We will get there, because so far I don't want this reading to be a bummer. That's not the point. It's not going to be. But this is just, these are the cards I'm getting so far. More to what they feel for you. Father of Cups and the High Priestess. So everything about you that's come up is this very intense story of how almost like gifted or capable you are. So I think you could be this like star athlete or this incredible like cello player, and yet you're not. I feel like there's a wasted potential aspect to your life where you are not capitalizing or taking advantage of something like a gift that you have. I would say, looking at these cards, you are very smart. You are very balanced. You are so capable. I think you're very creative. I actually, the Father and Mother Cups cards is coming up. I think you're very creative. I think you have this this passion, this water energy that is so in tune, which makes me think you could be an artist, you could be a musician, you could have an outlet for there's some kind of creative outlet, whether it's like through dance or some kind of art that you either are suppressing or you're, like I said, not capitalizing on, or it's causing more pain for you than happiness, when really it should just be causing you happiness. There's just an energy I'm getting about that. This could also be, maybe you have a skill, like a deep skill or talent. This is kind of what I just said, but like, let's say you're unhappy in your current line of work and you really are sitting on a lot of potential to start and do something else. And they're just like, just do it. Like, stop talking about it. I can't handle the energy of talking about it. Like, I just need to see you starting to do it. Because you really have something, and they see something very, very capable and beautiful in you. So, and just, they see very deep potential that I think inspires them. I think parts of you have inspired them. I think you're one of the reasons they've taken off on this pattern of growth. And I don't understand. Well, yeah, that's all I know about that right now. I guess I don't understand what wispy has to do with this, the kind of feather. And I don't understand how some of my readings get so heavy. Like, I wanted these readings to be about like what are they feeling? Like, oh, they're feeling that they miss your hair and your eyes, and they love when you wear those pants. Like, but this is such a different kind of reading, and I love it and hate it at the same time. But I do this is where my readings go. They always go down a path like this. Okay, so how do they currently feel about you? I want to get just a little bit more. Well, I want to know what they love about you. Okay, so yeah, what do they love about you? These, I'm not going to do upside down readings. And we're, okay. So they love, so the Father of Pentacles, I mean, we've got you all over for these intense energies, like representing these suits in very high level ways, like the Mother of Pentacles is here, the Father, the Mother of Cups, and the Father of Cups. So Eight of Pentacles this is a card of like patience, like this, you know, the spider building this web, the work that goes into it. And basically the Four of Cups is like, it's basically apathy. It's not a great card, but I'm trying to think, we ask what they love about you, so I will find something good to say about that. And there's a story to tell here. I think you have been very motivational to them, or you've been a motivating force for them. And I do think they love and appreciate that. I think you have been very patient with them. I think you have helped them get to whatever point they're at in their life that is great and wonderful. You have been a crucial part of that. And they see that, they know that. And it's not just like they recognize that and they want to thank you for it. I think they really allowed you in because they cared about you. They felt something for you. So they allowed you to maybe see them when they were a lot more vulnerable, a lot less accomplished, or maybe in a lost state, and you kind of lifted them up and helped them. And they are so grateful that you're in their life and that you were able to show them that. And they love, how patient you were, how you just worked with them through this. And I think if I get the apathetic part out of this from what they love, I think that although you have this passionate, artistic energy to you, I don't think you're a fly off the handle kind of person. I think you have tremendous balance, reserve, you're composed, you're mature, and it might come off like you can be apathetic, but I don't believe that that's really your vibe or your energy. Instead, it seems like you're very composed, okay? And it's something that would carry you far in business. It's something that would offset maybe like a very fiery, creative side of you, because a lot of artists, I don't know a lot of artists. I don't know why I'm putting them all in a category, but I just feel like they could be so passionate that sometimes that passion can get funneled into an unproductive direction or something. But you aren't. You have a command. You're a great communicator. I just think you're this very impressive person to them. And yeah, they're impressed with you. And how are they currently feeling? Everything I've asked, it's like I get this bigger snapshot. Like, I guess I'm just going to ask if they want to be with you. Do they want a relationship with you? And that is because I'm getting all the things they like about you. I'm getting how they view you, which is they think you're wonderful. They think you're mysterious. I think they think you're beautiful. They like everything about you, but for whatever reason, there's just this little part of them that doesn't know if you guys would work as a couple. And I want to know if they think you would work as a couple, or what are their thoughts on that? Okay, so the Four of Wands and the Hierophant. This is definitely a card of like ceremony and celebration. It's a great card. It can absolutely have a lot to do with relationships, it's a yes card. Let's put it that way. So this is a card that would make me think, okay, yes, I do think they think you could work as a couple. But I think they want to see more from you. They want to see other sides of you. They want to see other dimensions of you. I think they want to see a little more vulnerability in you as well. And I'm actually going to really put that out there. You can show all these things you're great at. You're a great communicator. You're a great and passionate person. You're very loving. You're very dynamic. But maybe you're not that vulnerable. Maybe there's still this part of you where they're like, I just feel like I don't know you. You've seen me through everything, and now I just need to see these other sides of you. I do see that they I think they do want to be with you if you can show them more of yourself. And this might take time, and I do think that they're willing to wait. I think they could be patient for you. I don't think there's like someone else on the back burner that they're weighing their options against. I really think things could go somewhere with you guys. You would just have to step up to the plate in your own life. And then as far as the relationship goes, or getting to know each other on different intimate scales, I think you would have to show them a side of you that they haven't showed. Or maybe they feel like you have this like secret side that you're not revealing. Maybe you do. I don't know. There's just something that they need to hear you say that you haven't said or revealed. And that's something I'm getting out of this. And the Hierophant, I don't know if this is a yes or no card, if I'm being honest. I feel like it's one of those neutral cards where it's a weird card in that it's a stern card. You know, it's a card of not just relaying a message, but it's a very there's a rigidity to this card, okay? It makes you think of like this religion or like a pope, like passing on knowledge. And maybe they just want to see, this could go back to how we want you to, or they want you to dig in a little deeper to something, maybe commit to something. And this would go for if things are going to work, they need to see that from you. Maybe this is like a card of commitment, and that commitment can be to whatever you know it is. There's something you know that they want to see you commit to, and I'm going to take that as the message with the Hierophant. I have no idea if this reading was all over the place. I am afraid it was. However, if it did speak to you, please let me know. I would love to hear your comments. But to recap, if that's even possible, because I think I took this in many different directions. And I don't want to say again that they need to see more from you, because but that is how they feel about you currently. However, they really think you're wonderful. They see tremendous strength, intelligence, like mental capacity. They really think you're exceptional. Like so much so that they just, I think there's an untapped, uncorked, or corked. You've been corking your potential. There's something. Yeah. Okay. I am not going to say it again. I'm not. Let's get a good luck charm from Spirit. And I'm just going to take this one because when things pop around, I'll just grab it. So Creator of Air, which sometimes I don't know what Spirit's good luck charms mean. They take me a minute. Create Air. This swords are, this would be like the sword. The swords are an air sign. And I'm going to think of like mastery of thought. Come up with a plan, okay? If this is Spirit's good luck charm, I think she's telling you to come up with a plan. They want to know your plan, okay? That is it. That's the good luck thing to do that we took away from all this. I hope you didn't see this as sad or negative or me harping on you, because I'm not at all. And I wouldn't be anyway. These are just the cards that got turned over. But I hope this message read as positive in the end, because I see it that way, and I see it that way for you. So I'd love to hear your input. But yes, thank you so much for listening and for being here. I really appreciate it. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and listening to this reading. We are doing a reading for how do they currently feel about you? What are they feeling? Why? And you picked pile number 3, which is Showy. And we will see why you picked Showy. I'm just going to say less connection between the word. It's just the pile that led you to this reading, because I sometimes even forget to mention it. For whatever reason you picked it, it was the right pile to pick. But yes, here we are for your reading. And okay, these last readings have been really actually quite heavy. We are going to start with, how do they currently feel about you? I'm going to get to know this person that you are inquiring about. So let's get a little bit about them. Overrate your intuition. Okay, so that's for them. Ace of Cups, Justice, and Mother of Pentacles. So when I think of intuition, I can think of, well, we all can think of a lot of things. But if I see intuition with like a water sign here, it paints a picture of someone who is starting to really figure out what they want. What do they need? What works for them? What makes them happy? I think this person is very much trying to figure themselves out right now. They are going through a phase of asking a lot of questions. And when I see Justice, I think they are being very judicious with their own wants and needs. They are really trying to take time, mental energy, mental space, physical energy space, to assess what is making them happy, what isn't, what's serving them and what isn't. If they've put distance between the two of you, then it's because I believe they want the time to figure themselves out. And when I see the Mother of Pentacles, I really love this card. It's one of my favorite energies of the whole deck, because it makes me think of someone who is like, there's this creative energy to it, but there's someone who loves to care for others. And, you know, for others could be like caring for themselves too. It's maybe they're treating themselves like the Mother of Pentacles. Maybe they are finally nurturing and caring for themselves in a way that they haven't. They're recognizing their own needs. They're attending to their own wants and needs. And I don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. I think we all go through phases of this. And I think this is how a lot of relationships grow and evolve, because you help the other through these phases. So there isn't anything about this that gives me any pause. I think it's good, but it might mean that you have been pushed back a little bit to kind of figure out what this person's doing. But let's get a little bit more about them. So we've got the Moon and the Father of Wands. So this is ever so slightly darker cast, but not dark at all. Maybe they've been mysterious about what they're doing. Maybe until I just said this out loud, you never really thought like, oh, they're just working on themselves. They're just trying to figure out exactly what they need. Maybe you thought there was something more, I don't know, devious to it, when in fact, I don't get that feeling. I think that maybe they're doing a poorer job of communicating this, because they might not want to hurt you or other people. They might not know how to express that they are going through a phase of self-growth and don't really want other people's input right now. But that is what I think is going on with them. And the Father of Wands, it would be a further backup to say that they are going through this like spiritual, intuitive phase. And vision is a word you can give to the Father of Wands. It's someone who's connected. It's someone who has a passion, an enthusiasm, a direction. I think they're going towards all this right now. And I think they're attaining a lot of it. This came up because they are working on them. They might not be sharing a lot of this. They might be doing this in a way that feels, more secretive, more guarded. But I think they are taking care of themselves in doing this. In other words, if they aren't communicating a lot with you, or if you're not talking a lot and you have no idea how they feel, which is probably why you're here, I don't think they're out running around like getting drunk and taking handfuls of pills and partying all night. I think they're actually like chilling and taking care of themselves and like nurturing themselves. I think something that they might not even know how to explain. Like they might not even know how to tell you that they are actually, I don't know, like meditating at night and doing yoga. I just, whatever it is, it's kind of like it's something new for them, but they are, yeah. And with judicious and justice, there's a goodness to this card. This is the heart chakra card, and I really think they're just tapping in, they're getting connected. And you know, if you guys were a couple and you want to be a couple, or you hope to be, this would be a phase they would have to take. This is a part of their path, and they're doing it, and I think it's great. We all need to do this. So, and even if they're being secretive about that, like even that I don't mind, because it shows that real dedication to it. And you know, this could take 10 years. This could take 10 days. Like, I don't know how long they're going to be on this journey. But I don't think they know either, because, they're kind of guarding it right now. Okay. We're going to do 3 oracle cards, because 3 fell out, and that's just how it works. I think I put them up here. Okay. But we're going to find out what they're feeling about you. So I'm going to start here with, actually, I'm going to start here. Overthinking can spoil the magic. I'm going to use this for you. This is going to be for you. This is going to be what they're feeling about you. I'm going to say you might be overthinking all this right now. And I don't blame you, because if you're not getting the information you want, and if you feel like this person has all of a sudden pulled away or isn't talking to you, or whatever, a dynamic has changed, I don't blame you for overthinking it. But I'm just going to tell you that it would probably be time to put more energy into yourself, and to realize that they're fine. This is too much heat for this little plant. That they're fine, and that sorry, that's not what I need to be focused on right now. Yeah, okay, and that don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Okay, this is about you. Then we'll do them. Son of Cups. Okay, so this is definitely, I think this goes with your overthinking. So this is a card, let's say, of like balance, right? Of juggling. And I actually think you have been like weighing maybe 2 options. Maybe you are stuck on this sense of like, well, what would happen if this happened? What could I forgive him if he did this? If he does this, if they continue this for another week, should I send a text like this? Like, I just think that there's a lot of thought going into them, their actions, and the outcomes of their actions, when really I think you need to take a step back from that, because we don't know how long they're going to be like this. And planning too much around it will not serve you. And I do think you're overthinking their actions, their outcome, their path right now. And we'll get more to that, and we'll get some time frames on that. But the Son of Cups is a cup. It's a card also of, I think there's a genuine, there's a bit of a love aspect to this card. This card could be associated with romance. There is a very sweet, loving energy to this card, like a want to communicate, a desire to communicate, a desire to, be heard, to share thoughts. And I really just think that you are in that energy right now, where you are probably so ready for something, for a relationship. Maybe you think you found your person in this person. Maybe you're just really enamored with this person more than ever. And you probably have heard the people tell you that like relationships all come down to timing or whatever. So much of it has to do with timing and location. The timing thing is real. And for whatever reason, I don't think this is their time right now. Again, I was almost joking when I said 10 years. That was a joke, but kind of 10 days was too. I don't know what this looks like, but there's a, whoever they were with or would have to really embrace this part of this little path they're on right now. And I think you can do that. But they would really need to see you do that. And I think if you've ever thought of giving them an ultimatum, which I get out of this card, it would not serve you well. So no ultimatums, no if this, then that type of conversation. Just, I think they would just need overwhelming like love and support. That's what this person needs right now. Okay, light in the unexpected. This is them and how they're feeling about you. Okay, so Four of Pentacles, the Star. Okay. So I'm going to say this, and it's not going to sound good up here, but we're going to get to this. Okay. I think you guys had something where you were in contact a lot more. Maybe you were in a full-blown relationship and you're not anymore. Maybe you guys were just coworkers that talked a lot and you're not anymore. I'm not sure, but whatever you have now, it's less than what you had before. And I'm going to say, when I see this light in the unexpected, I think they're surprisingly happy where they are right now, and you aren't necessarily in their life as much as they were. And I think that they are surprised that they didn't need you quite in the way that they thought they did. Okay. We're going to talk this out, and it's not going to be as harsh as it sounds right now. Okay. I'm just going to say, whatever you had, things might have gone quickly. It might have escalated very quickly. It might have gone from like a 0 to 100 very quickly. And there might have been this like ramping, this incredibly fun, intoxicating ramp up that had you both like spinning. But I think once this person took a step back from that, they probably realized like, oh, we moved really quickly, or we thought we had something and we didn't even know each other that well, or whatever. I just think once they pulled back, they felt it wasn't as hard for them as they thought it was going to be. Okay, we're going to do a whole reading that talks about wonderful things about you and your dynamic. So please. But also, all I'm going to say is we have the Star here, right? To get a star in a reading about how they feel about you is beautiful. I think they see you as someone who is very secure. I think they see you as like almost like a guide, like they could go to you for guidance, spiritually connected. You may have inspired them in a lot of ways to take on this avenue of growth that they're doing for themselves. And the new year has a lot to do with this. Like, let's not forget the timing. Like, this is a new year. This is when people get on these kicks. So again, it might not be that long, but it might be the best thing that ever happened to them. And it could be the best thing that ever happened to you guys as a couple if you go together from here. So, but I really think that they have a lot of tremendous respect for you. And there's something about how you're living your life that they really respect and admire and probably want a little bit of for themselves. So I will say that. But now this card, the Four of Pentacles, it's not good or bad. It's really just like, it's a situation. It's a card of like holding tight. You could say budgeting, almost like there's a little bit of fear to expel a resource or spend money or put forth anything. I just think they feel a little bit stuck right now. They're not ready to propose any idea to suggest moving forward. I really think that they're stuck. They think you're wonderful, but I think they're so happy doing what they need to do and taking care of themselves right now that almost nothing could make me happier. And that's okay with the light and the unexpected. It's not that they didn't miss you as much as they thought they would. That's it. It's nothing to do with you. It's that once they took time away from you and put that towards themselves, they realized how happy they were working on themselves. That is the way to describe this. And so I hope you can see the difference from what I initially said to what I'm saying now. And that makes me think of, they're not ready to stop working on themselves right now, to stop putting this energy into themselves. They really aren't ready. And they really don't have anything to give to anyone else right now because they are so tuned in to themselves. I don't know that they can express that. Something tells me they can't. Something tells me they're not that great with words. But this is exactly where they're at. They think you're wonderful. They adore you. I could say so many ways to describe how good they think you are, how great, probably how appealing, how I just think they're really taken aback by you in a very good way. They're probably very attracted to you, all those good things, but they are not ready to make a move or amplify or any aspect of your relationship yet. And if you do provide ultimatums, if you do come on too strong, if you do show this outpouring of love and emotion, I really don't think that it will be well received. So they're also probably thinking they don't want that from you right now. It doesn't mean they never will. I can't, there's nothing you did that was bad. There's nothing you did that eked them out or made them feel like gave them the ick. You did nothing. This is just a part of their path. Okay, so bliss is worth creating from. So this is a card to say all they want to do is find their own happiness right now. All they want to do, everything that's making them happy, they are finding happiness in happiness. They are happy working on their own happiness right now. This is all they care about. And they are quite blissed out right now. And I'm almost jealous of them because everyone goes through phases where they want to better themselves or work on themselves. But a lot of the times when we do that, we get frustrated and we throw our hands up or we're like, fuck it. Like, I'm calling my friends. I need to go out for a drink tonight. But I don't think they're doing that. I think they're really sticking to this and they're finding a lot of joy in this. They're finding a spiritual awakening doing this that is pretty magical. And here we have the Magician card. So that's funny. Okay. So this is a little bit more about them, but that's fine because we are just painting this big picture of them and somehow we're trickling down to how they currently feel about you. They are working their own magic right now. We know that. Sorry, that was like such a deep breath. And they're isolating themselves, but they want to be isolated. I guess I want you to know that right now they want the space, they want the time, they want the isolation. They want to complete what they're doing. And if you were to upset this, if you were to come in with an ultimatum that would be very enticing to them, and you, even if they didn't notice it now, but let's say in 1 year, 10 years, 1 month, they noticed that you interfered with this, I think they would be resentful. And that's extreme of me to say, but I want to know what they love about you, because they really do very much care for you, very much. There's more to you guys than what's on the table. This is all about them. And it's weird that it took that turn, but maybe you knew that. Maybe this is just reconfirming that you knew it's all about them, that how they feel about you almost doesn't even cross on the radar because all they're thinking about is themselves right now. So maybe that is the whole point of this reading, but I am going to tell you 3 things or what they love about you. So let's do that because you need that. You've earned that. Okay, this is what they love about you. Okay, good. So we've got raw intention, 8 of Wands, and the Sun. So I think you have a certain command about you. You have a certain energy that is very decisive, not almost controlling, which I think we've gotten a little bit of, but in a very powerful, commanding way. And I think they love this about you. You have probably inspired them, like I've said, to take this approach where you want them, they're owning their own life right now. They're finding their path. They're going down it. They're owning it. And I think you had a lot to do with this. And I think you've done this. And you're confident now. You know what you want. You've put the work in. But they have to do this. And I really think they love this about you. I'm just going to jump down to the Sun. The Sun's everything. The Sun is life-giving. It is a force. It is powerful. It's beautiful. We bask in the sun. We worship the sun. I mean, the sun could also kill us, but like it is definitely that youth, that vitality. It's everything. So if they see you as the sun, okay, this is what do they love about you, and the sun comes up, they think you are a ray of sunshine. You are light. You are hope. You're inspiration. You are all these incredible things. And I'm just saying things that how you make them feel, but like they probably find you at, I mean, they probably, I don't want to say worship because that's a weird word, but they like a lot about you physically. They're drawn to you. They're attracted to you. They're like, we can almost go so far as to say they need you. Okay. They just have to come to you. And the Eight of Wands is, it's like, it's also a card of you being in control of yourself. And so I'm going to say, I read something about how the Eight of Wands is like a ready, aim, fire card. Like you got your target, you've got you know what you want. You are very much in control of your own life. And I think they have crazy amounts of respect for you. I do think they have a very strong passion and like a love and an admiration for you. So I want you to know that that is exactly how they feel about you and view you. But I did give you the message of how they don't necessarily want you to come in with this energy right now, which you have. You could probably sway them. You have the power, I think, to kick up all they're doing right now and implant yourself. And it could work, and it could be fun and amazing for, I think, a short period of time. And I do think it would kind of implode because their process was disturbed. So yes, if you can be patient and just let them do their thing, be there for them as a friend when they need you, I think a lot could come for you guys, because they're definitely, they're doing some pretty magical things right now. And I think there's someone who didn't have a whole lot for some reason. And I think this really it's important that they're doing this. They're at a point in their life where they have more than they've ever had, and they are capitalizing on that. They aren't treating it like any place they are. The success, wherever they are in life right now, it wasn't by accident, it was intentional, and they want to really like pay respect to that. Almost this homage, like saying everything I have is because of how hard I worked, and I'm going to recognize that, not take it for granted, not ride on my own coattails or whatever. I don't even think that makes sense. That's not even possible. I don't know. I'm going down a weird road. But if you loved this reading or even liked it, please let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'm sorry I got a little crazy in the end, but I hope this turned into a good reading for you ultimately. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. And I just want to thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to read for you. We are reading for how do they currently feel about you? What are they feeling? Why? And you are here because you picked pile number 4, and this is Iffy. I will say I love these pictures of feathers, so I think it's more about what picture spoke to you. The words, I don't know if they're either here nor there, but yeah, you pick your picture and that's your reading. So here we are. I am very excited to get into it. Okay, let's start with an oracle card, and let me give these another good shuffle. Okay. I want to know about this person that you're asking about. Let me get a little bit of information about them. Okay, collaboration of souls. I think we're off to a good start. Father of Pentacles, the Devil, not necessarily a bad thing. Ace of Swords. Okay. Okay. When I saw the collaboration of souls card come down, my first thought, and I'm going to stick with it, that's why I thought it was good, I think you guys really have a connection, okay? I mean, that's a fairly generic takeaway, but it struck me, and I'm going to stick with it. I think the two of you have like when you sit down and talk over a glass of wine or whatever, you just feel like this person really sees you, and vice versa. I think you've helped inspire one another. I think you've helped each other grow. I think you've shared just not only goals, but like you've really, really opened up. And I think with this person, you guys have both been very vulnerable. I just think there's been a lot of vulnerability and trust between the two of you. So I am going to take that and work on the devil later. I think this person's Father of Pentacles, and I'm going to say that they have an Ace of Swords energy. So Ace of Swords is someone who is like, well, with aces, there's always potential. There's always this excitement, this new beginning. It's the very start of something. And with the swords, we can think like almost this clarity of thought, be it an idea, a new business. It's like this, or just not even a business, like this approach to how you might want to change an aspect of your life, how you might want to do something differently. Yeah, I think this person's innovative. I think they are very open and receptive to change, thoughts about change. I think they're very open. And Father of Pentacles, I would say that, yeah, they're earthy, they're good, they just make you feel secure. Okay, I think if I take all the pentacles and like, if I just think of what the pinnacle of the pentacles would be, it would be this sense of security, this sense of like home, this sense of like peace, and there's no lack. Everything you need is there. It might be someone who works very hard and doesn't have a ton of time, but yet they still would try, because it would be like this, every aspect of home is met. But then we see the devil, and I don't know why I got the feeling, not that you were the devil, but I think they feel betrayed. And I got this under the collaboration of souls, and I think you guys, I think these are your souls collaborating. I think they feel betrayed by you, and I don't know why, and I think we'll get into it possibly. I don't know. And this doesn't mean you did something like truly demonic or unforgivable, but a betrayal in some way. Maybe you betrayed their trust on some level, because you guys are so open, because you've shared so much. Maybe they're afraid they've shared too much with you, and now they feel vulnerable and exposed, when really you would never do that. But there's something to make me think you've either betrayed them, or they're afraid you're going to, and maybe they're pulling away for that reason. I don't know. We'll have to get more. Let's get more about them. Who are they? Okay, so we're going to do Daughter of Swords and Mother of Swords. It's funny to see the same suits come up in a daughter and mother thing. But if we're sticking with the swords, so I would say they're not the King of Swords, okay? They're the King of Pentacles. And the difference between the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, I don't think they know themselves. They might not know their mind as well as they want to. They're probably working on it. They probably want to get to know their mind. They probably are working on maybe being more secure, maybe being more confident. But there's a part of them where I think they lack a certain element of confidence. And I'm not sure why, because I think they are innovative. I think they're successful. I think they're accomplished. I don't think they're insecure in like the amount of money they're making, or their career, or their home. But there's something that ticks away at them that makes them feel like they just aren't doing enough, or like I don't know, but there's an insecurity. I'm going to say that. And this could go along with why maybe in opening up to you as much as they did, maybe they do feel something vulnerable, which triggered this insecurity, or this sense that they have shown you too much. They showed you too much. That's weird, but I need to know more about them. I'm trying to think what question to ask, because I'm just confused by them. Oh, I just want one more. I want 3 cards to illustrate them. Who are they? Because I'm confused. Okay, well, these are so far beautiful and lovely cards. And then we got the Tower. So I think, I don't know, out of this, there's something about me that gets the feeling that they do have a very hopeless romantic air to them. I think that they really do want to be in a relationship, which would totally be a Father of Pentacles vibe. I think they probably love. I think they are givers, and I think they like the whole, like that fairy tale thing. And I know this doesn't sound like a very masculine energy if this is a guy, but a lot of men are like this. They just don't really talk about it. And maybe you've seen sides of this. Maybe you guys have really gotten to know each other in a way where you're like, oh yeah, that tracks. They probably aren't afraid to tell you, like, yes, I want a family, and I want a home that looks like this, and I want us to live in a house like this, and I want us to vacation here. And I think they really are very good at talking about what they want. And I believe them that they really want these things. However, I do think that they have a fear, quite possibly, of either commitment or being too vulnerable. Something about opening up too much makes me think that this can push them away. They can get to this point where everything's great, and then they almost have a hard time like taking it to the next level. And we all do in a way, but I think with them it's exceedingly frustrating because you've seen so much and you know so much, and you just don't understand why they can't go that extra mile. And there is something in communication for them that it is hard. It's like hard for them to find the words to go with their thoughts, the thoughts to go with their words. Like it's just, or the actions to back up their thoughts. There's just something but they really do want to work on this. And I believe they are. And it's probably something from their childhood that will always be a part of who they are. And this will always be with them, this little nagging insecurity for whatever reason this is with them. And it's not bad. I mean, this is with everyone to an extent, but yeah. So if you guys aren't together, or if one of you pulled back because things were just quite frankly too difficult, maybe you couldn't put up with this person who you know through many conversations and soul exposing episodes that, like, you know they're into you, you know they care for you, you know they want this, you know you're prepared to give it to them, and yet they just can't seem to pull the trigger on anything. They can't commit. I think, but again, that fear of commitment, I don't think it's that they want to be with all these other people, or that they still feel like they need to date around. I think it's more that they just are afraid to really give everything to one person. Okay, I want to know a little bit about how they feel about you. So I'm just going to ask, like, how do they feel? And we'll build these 2 sections down. Inflow with money and the creator of air. Okay, so to see this next to the Pentacles, it tracks because the Pentacles is a wealth and abundance energy. It's that earth energy where you plant seeds, you watch them grow, and those seeds, you build your home, you feed your family, you buy the things out of necessity, everything you need in life to survive comes from those seeds that you planted, and everything else has to fall into place to make it successful. So if you're the Father of Pentacles, you are really working on this plan. Like, you are actively going after, you're taking the steps to see everything in your life fall into place perfectly. It's a great person to be. It's a great person to date, I think. But it does have to be offset with a softness. But this would be the softness right here. The 10 of Cups and the Star. This is soft. This is lovely. Inflow with money. Yes, they're in flow with money. I think earning is a big thing for them. But this is, how do they currently feel about you? And just give me a minute with this. So I think I almost feel like through all your talks and all your soul revealing conversations, our episodes, I think they're afraid that you're going to leave them. And I think they're afraid you're going to actually leave them for an opportunity somewhere or for a different life. Like maybe you guys are in a small town and you have an opportunity to go to a bigger place, a big city, a bigger city. Maybe there's, work opportunity somewhere. Maybe there's school. Maybe there's a connection somewhere. I'm afraid, or I think that they are afraid that you are going to wind up leaving them. And maybe you revealed this a little bit, why they have this somewhat insecurity of seeing you as someone who could betray them or has betrayed them. Maybe you showed a side of this, like maybe you had a night where you opened up to each other, you told them so many things, but you left out one little detail about how, oh yeah, I accepted a job in, 10 states away. And then they, that's a betrayal in a way. It's something along those lines where they now don't entirely trust you. And I think that their life is where they are, and I'm not sure that yours is, or that you don't have a want or a need to be somewhere else. I don't necessarily see them going anywhere or see them wanting to go anywhere. It doesn't mean they wouldn't. I think they're very happy where they are, whereas you have a desire, I think, possibly to go find success somewhere else. It doesn't mean you wouldn't stay. I'm not saying you're definitely leaving. I don't know. But that's just what I see. But I don't think you talk about this a lot to them. I think this is one part that maybe you've hid from them, or you've kind of kept a little bit more secret. And I think they sense this, and this is their fear. This is what they feel about you, that you are hiding this. And that they would, if they got close to you, they could lose you to something to do with or even travel, or maybe you'd have an opportunity to travel for 6 months or 3 months or 1 month, or something that would make them feel insecure or like they've lost you. That's a definite other direction. Or maybe this is like an internship that would, last a few months, and really that's nothing in the grand scheme of things, but to them, it is. To them, it would be something that would be very hard for them. So a little bit more about how they feel about you. The creator of air, we can call this a sword energy. We can call this like your thoughts, your intellect, your kind of command over self, which are the sword. It's the sword energy. And I think you really have this, and they want more of this. Okay, this is something we talked about, that this would be where something in their insecurities have to do with I just say the command they have of themselves, but I can't think of another way of describing it. I'm going to say that they, okay, let me see how they feel about you. So we've got a little more mystery. And then a little bit, I really think they feel stuck with you. I don't think they know what to say to you. I don't think they know the conversation to have with you. And this is something that I haven't seen in any of these readings coming up about this. They feel stuck. So how do they currently feel about you? Maybe you have given them one word or a notion to imply that you could be leaving, or you could be changing course, or you could want this in the future. I think it freaked them out. I think they felt betrayed by it. And now they see you as this almost this I don't even know this person anymore. Who are they? We shared so much and now I don't even know them, which really is BS. They know you. But they are insecure in some ways. And now they just feel like they're stuck. They don't know what to do with you. And they are hurt and they are insecure. And these are two energies that can turn into anger and bitterness and a lot of things very quickly. Sorry, I feel like I'm yelling. I don't know why I'm doing that. And I'm trying to figure out, I feel like I can see this person very well and I can see you well too, but I want to understand a little bit more about what you're supposed to do with this. All right, let's just ask, what are you supposed to do about this? Because, you know, right now it's like all about how you make them feel, which is the question here. But it's like, well, what are you supposed to do with this? So let's get some advice for you. Overrate your intuition. And, okay. So I'm going to say for you, this card I like to use is just a very much go with your gut card. Whatever you're feeling, whatever your gut is telling you, do that. Just that quick gut check. Don't overthink it. That's what you need to do. And this next card sums that up and contradicts it at the same time. But this is almost like a card of foresight. This is like a little bit of a contemplation. Take your facts, take what you know, take the data points, and use those moving forward. Whereas here, I'm like, just go with that quick gut reaction. But the truth is, I bet whatever this gut decision tells you is going to be where the data leads you. That is what I think and feel. So for you, it could be, yeah, it's a mixture of those two things. I think either path will lead you to the same place. In the world I think this is here to remind you that things cycle. They come, they go. There's doors open, doors close. Things begin, things end. And this could be doors open and close on opportunity. Maybe you're very close with this person and you want a reason to not leave the state or the country and stay with them and make things work. And this could be the card to say, like, yes, I should not do that. Or this could be the card to be like, this isn't your person and you will meet someone else. So feel free to go and do whatever you need to do. This is basically a card to remind you that whatever decision you make is the right decision. So this is going to be your takeaway. Go with your gut or analyze the data to death. It's going to be the same. It's going to lead you to the same place. I almost guarantee it. So don't ignore your gut. And just know that whatever decision you make is the right decision, because this is how it works. Things happen as they're supposed to. Like, whatever happens, even if it's awful. Actually, no, I can't say that because so many awful things have happened. I would never say they happen for a reason. But I would say that what I mean is, like, in your own life, the decisions you make, you made the right decision. You just have to trust that. And I guess I'm saying, even if your decision had a bad outcome, it was still the decision you made. And there are definite caveats. There are awful directions that this can go, and I don't want to open the door to that at all. But my point is that in this case, whatever decision you make, it's the right decision because it's the one you made and it's yours. So I'm going to get a good luck charm from Spirit for you. I think this person definitely cares for you. I think they want you in their life, but I think they definitely want to feel like they can trust you. And they want to know you'd be able to commit to them. And a good luck charm from Spirit is fearless expression. And, you know, we see this between the collaboration of souls and the Devil card. And I would say feel confident to relay any information, have any conversation with them you want, even if it's going to hurt them, even if you've held back from it in the past, even if it's information that you know they're not going to receive well, throw it at them. This is the direction you have to take, whether you stay or go. Brutal honesty. Just dig your heels in and do whatever serves you, because either way, I think that's what you need to do. Okay, I hope this helped. I really do. I want to thank you so much for listening to this reading. I would love to hear your comments. Either way, just share anything with me that you like. Please like, subscribe, and please come back for another reading. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, picture one. Thank you so much for being here. First of all, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and I'm just very happy to have you here. We are doing a reading for Spotty, a little picture of a feather with spots on it. And I forgot to say, this is how do they currently feel about you? So we are doing a reading for how do they currently feel about you? And we are reading for Spotty, which is picture one. I have to say that these are my all-time favorite readings. Something about kind of channeling the energy of like what someone else is feeling or thinking is just terribly exciting to me. So we will get into it. What are they feeling? You know who you're reading. You know who you want this reading to be about. And yeah, just hold on to that and let's see where this goes.